Hey guys, and welcome back to Dan's Pro Shop, where everything's made up and the instructions don't matter. Today, we're digging into this thing. If you guys are anything like me, you're constantly upset with how crappy these things are. You blow a lot of money, you take a loan from the bank, whatever, you get these things home, and the more you dig into them, the more upset you are with the quality. So you always have to end up improving everything. So today, we're putting a better faucet into the bathroom because I'll show you guys how cruddy the one is that comes with it. So go on Amazon, pick out one you like, and let's go ahead and do this together. Alright guys, so we're here in the camper in the bathroom. And if you can see behind me, the sink that comes with these things is less than desirable. We're not going to go crazy and change the whole bowl assembly, but at least the faucet, we can greatly improve the features and functions and the aesthetics, to be honest. So, if you're anything like me, I'm trying my best to match the one that's in the kitchen. So let's go ahead and look at that, and then we'll tear this thing apart. I promise, it's really not all that involved. So through a bunch of scouring on Amazon, I found one that's super close to this. I mean, obviously I couldn't get the exact same one for a bathroom fixture, but I'm trying my best to at least keep the aesthetics throughout the camper. So let's go ahead and rip into this so you can see how this is all done. And don't worry, I'll link this thing in the description in case any of you guys are interested in the same one that I got. Now I know everyone's setup is going to be slightly different here, but underneath the cabinet in my bathroom, there's really not much going on. There is an attachment here for an outside shower, which complicates things a little bit, but honestly, there's not much going on. So if you just see under here, the PEX that runs up to the faucet, I mean, really, this just hooks up like a residential one. You unscrew the hot and the cold back here, and then there's those flange nuts that hold the faucet assembly onto the bowl. Let's just undo that and put the new one in. Alright, let's go ahead and take a gander at the one I got here. To be perfectly honest with you, I don't even know the name of it or who makes it. I just found one on Amazon that matched what I was going for. And yeah, this is what we're looking at. So it comes with some stainless steel braided lines, which is actually awesome for the price point here. And this is our fixture. And I think I did a pretty solid job at matching the one that's in the kitchen. I mean, it's not perfect, but for a bathroom faucet, I like it. Now you guys are going to have to excuse how tight the quarters are in here because there's not much room to put you, get me, and still see what's going on in there. So you're probably going to be staring at the back of my head quite a bit, but I'll try to get you in here the best I can. So right now, I'm just disconnecting the hot and cold water lines underneath the sink here. Which, I mean, this is all plastic PEX stuff. There's really nothing crazy. You don't need any tools. And since it's all plastic, you know it's not going to be all galled together like those crappy chrome ones that you get from the hardware store. And luckily, I haven't de-winterized yet. So everything should still be relatively empty and full of antifreeze. So, I mean, you're going to have that to deal with. But really, this isn't a bad task. You're going to have a little bit of dripping going on, but there's nothing crazy. I mean, this is... I doubt very seriously we're going to have to use any tools other than the ones that God gave you. So right there, I already have the lines undone. Yeah, a little bit of drip, but nothing crazy. And now, the flange nuts that hold the whole fixture onto the bowl. There you go, there's one. Man, I tell you, I am so right-handed, it's ridiculous. I can barely do anything with my left hand. Alright, there's two. And voila, like that, this thing pulls out. No problem. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and save this because it still works. It just looks like crap. So we're going to go ahead and clean up a little bit, throw the new one in here. So the new one here comes with this nice like bezel gasket underneath. And then the flange nuts that go underneath also have a little gasket to keep everything nice and tidy. And also that will help this flange gasket really grip down onto the stud here. Not to mention these things are brass versus the crappy plastic ones that are on here. So hopefully this thing will be more than enough to last for as long as the trailer is going to last. Simply remove both of these flange nuts and the accompanying gaskets. Make sure you have it facing the right way, hot on the left. Throw it in. Start cranking her down. I tell you what, guys, this is like trying to thread a bolt hole into an exhaust manifold that you can't see. I promise I would have got you in here for a better look, but I can't even see it, so there's no way I'm getting the camera and my hand in there. Now, once you get your flange nuts all lined up and getting ready to get tight, you want to square up your faucet as best you can to make it look good up on top there. And then go ahead and crank these things down. Don't go crazy. I mean, we're still dealing with a plastic sink here, but you want it to be enough so whenever you tighten the water lines down, nothing moves. And since the whole dang thing this is in moves, you know, every time you pull your trailer, it's like putting your house through an earthquake. So you want things to be sturdy, but you want them to be able to move a little bit, kind of like a skyscraper. They're built so they can move, so they don't break. This is kind of the same premise. All right, now that we have the flanges tightened down, we can go ahead and install our PEX underneath. All right, guys, we found something here. Take note of the old flange nuts versus the new ones that came with it. See, the depth is different. I'm going to have to use the old ones to allow the PEX to go up onto the fitting all the way. So keep this in mind when you're doing it. Your plumbing fitting still needs to fit on the bottom of those studs. So we'll go ahead and do the same thing for the other side, and now we can install our PEX. Because now I know that there's enough room for that fitting to go all the way up onto the stud and seat securely against that O-ring without hitting that flange nut first. And I know, I'm sorry I can't be showing you this, but I can feel there's at least a 1/4 inch between the end of that fitting and where it goes up into the stud. So I know that it's sealing properly, not bottoming out early. Now we got everything in, I actually got that nice little squeak that you hear whenever the O-ring contacts the brass on the bottom of the fitting. So everything's good. Let's go ahead and pressurize everything and test it out, see how she runs. Well, you guys may have seen my little helper peeking in from the corner there. I tell you what, he is my mini-me. Anything I'm doing, he's got to be right there. He's like the best supervisor I've ever had. He sits in the truck, drinks coffee all day, and tells me what I'm doing wrong. So guys, whenever you're hooking up your city water, I found one of these 90-degree brass fittings, definitely the best. I mean, we're talking about the quality of these things. You know they're not great, so you want to take all the stress off of this thing you can. So once you get your 90-degree in here, the next thing I do is get one of these like stress relieving little whips. Hook that up to the 90-degree bib. And then on the end of that, I have my water pressure regulator set to 45 PSI. Because, again, we're talking about the quality of the camper here, and I don't want to take a risk of exploding any of the plumbing inside the camper. So we have our pressure regulator, and then we hook up our garden hose to this. Now that we have everything hooked up on the camper, let's go ahead, run over here, turn on the hose, and see what we got. Let's go ahead and just start here at the kitchen sink. Turn on the cold. Let her run, get all that antifreeze out. Cool, now that we got the lines purged, let's go in here and check out our new fixture. First, go ahead and peek under here. Make sure we don't have any leaks or anything like that. That little dribble there is just from when I took it apart the first time, but you can tell nothing bad's happening under here. Let's go ahead and throw it on. Same thing again, we'll start with the cold. Get all that gnarly antifreeze out of there, because you certainly don't want to be brushing your teeth with that. I tell you what, this thing is a solid upgrade from the one that it come with. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like this one is a way better option. And same thing with the kitchen. Once we're satisfied with the cold, we'll go ahead and purge out the hot line too. So guys, that about wraps this up. I hope you found it as enjoyable and as easy as I did, and I know my wife will greatly appreciate just the fact that it looks better. And you know what? Happy wife, happy life, right? And we're just making the camper better. So, you guys saw how easy this was. If you're interested in picking this thing up, go ahead and check out the link in the description. And we'll see you guys next time.